Welcome. Today we're going to revisit the topic of imposter syndrome. And we're going to do that via our friend Chloe that we have been following on this great journey. Many of you know that she's been launching a project that's both personal and creative and innovative. We're going to talk about this issue because it's coming up for Chloe. Anyone who's experienced these feelings of doubt, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm worried about what other people will think, go ahead down below in the comments. Let us know what's your experience. Do you know this thing called imposter syndrome? What does it feel like for you? And what we want to look at today while we're working with Chloe is to find out exactly where this might be coming from. Is it an internal thing? Is it external? Chloe, have you had criticism? Have you had your ideas pounced on? Do you feel like you're not adding value? You question if anyone's getting that. There's some doubt there. And we're all susceptible to this. The number one thing about our big brains is that we were built to connect. And if we don't feel connected, if we don't feel like somebody accepts us, it can throw us in a number of spirals or different places that are not safe. So Chloe, give us a summary. What's coming up for you? What's it been like for the last couple of weeks?
Well, first, Lynn, I just want to say that literally with you saying those words that you were just saying right there, I could feel my shoulders relaxing.
Hey, good.
You're talking about like wanting to connect, and connection is what makes us feel safe. I was like, ah. So there's some truth there, obviously. Yes. So to recap, I started this kind of audio journey experiment, what have you, back in I want to say October. It officially launched now. It's called the Alive Hour, and it's a very personal project. Let's see, after you and I have had a couple sessions now around this, and one of them was after we talked, I started scheduling out time for the Alive Hour in my calendar, which was a very helpful thing. And then after that, I started scheduling, we talked about scheduling even more time. So instead of just scheduling a half hour here or maybe an hour, started experimenting with like 2-hour blocks, or sometimes it's even become like 3-hour blocks, or, almost like a half of a day. So yeah, it's been, and then that kind of led to a whole bunch of things, kind of sitting with the work in a different way, having new things come up, like seeing that like poetry is a part of it, and like tangible items, and that's kind of been informing other ways I'm moving forward, with the project itself. So it's been very valuable. But then at the same time, I think I just wrote down here, like fear, 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 lots of voices, fear. And so, yeah, it is very interesting because, I was writing down even 5 months in to working on this, which feels, it's a significant amount of time. There is just still so much fear and worry about criticism and, voices kind of talking to myself. And I feel, relatively okay enough with the voices where I keep observing them, like a good Buddhist, I guess. But they are still very there. And it does sort of wear at you a little bit to kind of live in that kind of fear. So
it does. Yeah, and you're not unlike many of the women and the female identifying clients I've been working with lately, where a lot has been coming up, and for some reason, the female nature in all of us tends to want to nurture and take care of and be the mother bear taking care of so many things with unrest and unknown surrounding us. So I want you to just, actually what you'll want to do for yourself is notice there's one part being observational, right? Where you go, oh, look, this person liked this piece of poetry. Oh, look, I published another series, right? You're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. So notice that there's some objectivity going on, an observation. At the same time, you're hearing these little voices of fear. And so you're not 100% full of fear. Can you see that?
Yes.
There's some curiosity. There's some observation that's sort of grounding. Be aware of that. And maybe we could do a quick little exercise. Anchoring into the fact that you're not all fear there, and you probably find it inconvenient and uncomfortable Because honestly, anybody listening, and for you, Chloe, when we go big, when we play bolder, when we put ourselves out there, it's 100% sure we're going to get triggered somehow. Because our biggest, boldest offerings for this world are our opportunity to feel some of the triggers that we're going to be dealing with. It's just human nature to not feel safe when you go out there that far. So let's do a quick little exercise. Close your eyes if you want. Audience that you're listening, if you can do this, do this. If you're driving, don't do it. Just for a minute, feel this surety that you have, that you've been in observation. Be aware of your body, what part of your body might be feeling the chair, the ambient air around you. Can you feel yourself kind of settling into self? Got that? How are you doing?
Good. Yeah.
So in that space where you can be settled, let's just lean into the fear just a little bit, see what it has to say. What's the worst thing realistically that could happen?
Man, this isn't like the worst thing, like lions are coming to eat me, but it feels like the ickiest thing. But it's something like, um, no one actually likes this, and it's not resonating with anyone, and so everyone's just kind of pretending to make me feel better, but it's not actually touching anyone, and I'm not getting any kind of real feedback because no one's willing to be honest.
Oh boy, that's big. Okay. Do you think that's probably the biggest thing that's underlying it?
Well, yeah, that's one of them.
It's pretty
Okay.
huge. All right. So how does it feel? First of all, you can open your eyes. How does it feel to have said that?
It feels better. I did
Okay.
not know I was going to say that.
Okay. So there it is out in the open, and we can look at it. And I don't know if you noticed, but your language was really big and inclusive. And it's what, if you were working in a therapy situation, would be almost on the cusp of dysfunction. Everything is going wrong. Nobody's being, so it's like, it's so much a big blanket that could that even be possible? Like, is what you're most afraid of even possible?
No, probably it's not.
How come?
Well, because like you're saying, I can see that too. I can see that yeah, it's very weird how you can have both those things in your head. I can both see the fallacy in, saying no one and everyone, and also it's that is the nugget of the thing that is sitting at the
Right.
pit of my stomach.
Okay. So now we know what it is. Let's explore that a little bit, and then I'll give you another exercise to maybe turn that thing on its head.
Okay.
However, the first thing I need to tell you is you are doing this. By damn, you are doing this. You're getting up every day, and every week you're publishing something. And when we are engaged like that, we are for real. We're for real. You're for real. You're really putting it out there. You're really doing it. This is not pretend. It's not even a dress rehearsal. That might be an experiment. You're not pretending. You're not trying. You're doing. How does that land?
That's really nice.
Okay. And anybody that's listening, if you are doing, you're not just thinking about it, you're not just hoping, you're not just talking about it. You have a ratio that's healthy between action and words. You're for frickin' real. That's what real means. Is you're breaching the gap between thought and action. You're living in praxis. You're practicing the thing, you're doing the thing. That's what for real might mean.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to say?
I can just describe physically how I feel right now. I feel calmer. I feel like some of the buzziness, kind of like body buzziness, is like chilled out, and I don't know, I just feel it really feeling like even when you're just having us do that little meditation moment, like I just feel everything that's beneath me supporting me right now more heightened. Like I feel this like desk under my arms, I feel seats, I feel the ground, and it all kind of has a little bit of a supporting, lifting
Hmm.
feeling.
So in that supporting, lifting, sorry, go ahead,
No,
finish.
I just said it feels good.
Feels good. Okay, in that supported and lifted space, let's go to the next level and just one quick exercise. Name 3 things that you know are either a win, progress, or a personal best.
Oof. Um, yes. Okay, 3 things. Um, well, I think just I definitely hang on to just doing this work feels so like I can tell how much fear is coming up, and just the fact that I feel like I keep facing it every day, and some days are harder and some days are easier, but that feels good to just keep facing it and moving through it, moving past it. um Another one feels like just the information I'm getting in the moving through, like the little discoveries of like the paper is important and the way we communicate is important and making these letters and poetry is important. And those weren't things that I necessarily had super top of mind at the beginning. And now it's information from moving through it. Um, and another thing that is a more technical thing, but I turned on the paid version for this, and that took so much to do that. I was really did not, it was uncomfortable to do that. I did not want to, and I did it anyway. And now, I have people who are paid subscribers, and that's just like, wow, that's kind of blows me away. So yeah, those things.
So you could start making a journal if you wanted, or a list, or whatever works for you. So when you ever have some doubt or that imposter syndrome, what do you sense it would feel like to come back and look at your actuals?
uh that Yeah, I think it would feel really good. It would feel like this grounding feeling.
Okay, and I have a little tool here that I use really quick. This is a magic wand somebody gave me. And they gave it to me because I kept looking at it, because as you sit there, you can see the sparkles. I have an object on my desk that reminds me that I see the sparkles, and when I see them, something lights up in me. And that's one of the things I do in my coaching is I see your sparkles. I see my client's sparkles. That's real. It maybe doesn't feel tangible to anybody else, but now that I've seen this, I realize, oh yeah, it delights me to see the sparkles. So if you even had a physical object that reminds you, oh, that's me, I do that, and you keep that by your desk that reminds you, I do keep facing off with the fear. I do this. This is like you've told me. I'm for real. These are my words, but this is basically what you told me. I'm for real when I'm doing this because I'm on purpose. I'm using talent and skill. It feels right and it nourishes me. And the connection between you doing that feels right for you, and finding an audience that it connects with so that there's an other orientation. That's where purpose lands, somewhere in that intersection. So in a way, anytime you can anchor into purpose, whenever you're feeling the imposter syndrome, it can help give you that equilibrium again. How's that?
Great. That's great. Thanks, Lynn.
Yeah. So those of you who are watching, this is not practice, this is not rehearsed, this is Chloe and I. You're watching Lynn Coaches Live. We're working on the imposter syndrome. And if anything has touched you, like us below, send us a comment. We want to hear what landed for you. And also we invite you to share this with someone, because you might know somebody who's dealing with imposter syndrome. Or while we were going through this, you might have thought of a couple of people where, yeah, they need to hear this. So please feel like you can share this. Chloe, anything you want to say as we end?
No, that's great. Thanks so much, Lynn.
You're very welcome. Thanks for participating.